I spent years watching people struggle with AI tools that should make their lives easier. The pattern is always the same: brilliant people, powerful technology, zero value captured. After leading teams through every major tech shift since the early 2000s, I can tell you this: the problem isn't the tool, it's how you're thinking about it. Here's what most people miss about competence: it's easy to fake. Give someone 30 minutes in a meeting and they can deliver a flawless performance. Right buzzwords, right frameworks. The whole thing looks polished. But insight? That's different. Real insight catches you off guard. It shifts how you see the problem. And here's the uncomfortable part: most organizations have built entire careers around the performance, not the substance. You only notice the difference when you're suddenly face to face with someone who actually sees something you don't. Here's what I've learned about hidden capability: it's everywhere, and we almost never see it. You meet someone new. They're fine, competent enough. You move on. 6 weeks later, they say one sentence in a meeting that completely reframes a problem you've been stuck on for months. Suddenly, they're indispensable. But here's the uncomfortable part: if that meeting hadn't happened, you'd never have known what they could do. Their value would stay invisible. Not because they're hiding it, because you never asked the right question. Most organizations are full of people like this. Brilliant, underutilized, waiting for the moment that reveals what they actually see. And most leaders never create that moment. We do this exact thing with AI. Someone spends an hour with ChatGPT, maybe a day. The verdict comes back fast. Impressive party trick, useful for some things, but transformational, not even close. Same pattern, same bias. We meet the technology once, in conditions we control, doing tasks we already know how to do. Then we decide we've seen enough. Most enterprises have spent more time debating the AI strategy deck than actually using the tools they're strategizing about. The instant dismissal is pure System 1 thinking. Daniel Kahneman spent a career documenting this. Your brain has a fast, intuitive mode that's brilliant for navigating the familiar and equally brilliant at rejecting anything that feels uncomfortable. Not there yet is the perfect System 1 response. It takes zero effort. It lets you keep working exactly the way you've always worked. And if what you're actually evaluating could replace half your workflow, even better, dismiss it fast. Move on. The gap isn't capability, it's convenience. We need to pause here and rethink what capability actually means. Think of a footballer. Put them on one team, they're ordinary. Move them to a different team. Suddenly, they're brilliant. They didn't get better overnight. The capability was always there. It just needed the right context to emerge. Capability isn't fixed, it's relational. Same thing happens in organizations. You've seen this. Someone unremarkable in one role becomes indispensable in another. Nothing about them changed. Everything around them did. We judge AI the same way we judge people: fast, in isolation, without context. Then we wonder why we're not seeing what it can actually do. The rules on that football pitch apply exactly to the software on your screen. We're operating under two completely different paradigms. First, you have the appliance, a toaster. Same output every time, no matter who pushes the button. Rigid, interchangeable. Then you have the collaborator, dynamic, specific rhythm, distinct flavor. Requires an actual relationship to function. We're misjudging AI because we keep treating dynamic collaborators like simple, interchangeable toasters. You can't swap one for another and expect the same result. That's not how collaboration works. I've watched people do this with AI for 2 years straight. You start with a model, get some useful work done. Hit a wall, so you switch models and start over. Classic appliance thinking. Keep throwing the toaster away, hoping the next one will somehow cook you a gourmet meal. But here's what actually happened when I stuck with one system long enough to build a real working relationship. The capability didn't change. My ability to unlock it did. The friction isn't the tool, it's the swap. The breakthrough came when I finally stopped switching and stayed put with one tool long enough to actually learn it. Not generic prompting, real rhythm. The kind where the back and forth starts matching how your specific brain actually works. Turns out the model wasn't the variable. I was. Most people never get there. They're still shopping for the better toaster. These tools have distinct personalities. Call them AI flavors. It's not about speed or cost. It's about how the model reasons, how it pushes back when you're wrong, what kind of structure it builds for you when you're working through something unclear. Tools like Replit, Cursor, Lovable, they're not interchangeable. You have to find the one that matches your cognitive rhythm. It's like dating, except the relationship actually improves your productivity. Once I found that rhythm, I built 30 to 40 applications in the span where I'd previously built 3. Not because the tool got smarter, because I stopped auditioning collaborators and started actually collaborating. The performance ceiling didn't just lift, it disappeared entirely. Which brings us to the synthesis. True understanding isn't available for purchase. You can't buy it off a shelf. The people pulling ahead aren't shopping for better magic boxes. They bypass that fast, not there yet verdict entirely. Instead, they put in the time, brought actual messy problems to the table, engaged genuinely. They built a real team, not with other people, with the system itself. So let me bring us back to that meeting analogy. What would change about your assessment of the quiet colleague if you'd never been in the room the day they finally spoke? You would have missed their capability entirely. Not because they lacked it, because you weren't present when the right context brought it to the surface. Same thing happens with AI. Most people just weren't in the room long enough. Hashtag AI tools hidden capabilities. Which tool is sitting on your desk right now, waiting for you to stay in the room long enough to find out what it can actually do? Stop shopping for appliances. Stop swapping models like toasters. The ones pulling ahead aren't using better tools. They built a relationship, put in the time, bring real problems, build an actual team. If you want to know what that looks like in practice, follow for more.